Welcome back, and it's time for a conversation with someone extra special. We're joined by Mr. Patrick Harry Rutherford Doyle, one of the few Nigerian actors with fully English names, I have to add. He is definitely a veteran, a broadcaster, filmmaker, someone who has a career that spanned over 4 decades, if not more. And yeah, he's been in the Nigerian film industry and sort of defined some of the best parts of it. He's best known as the presenter and creator of the legendary acclaimed Friday Night Live, Nigeria's first late-night entertainment TV talk show. And his thoughtful approach and adaptability to storytelling influences generations across the globe. It's great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Wow, I'm trying not to gush. I'm trying not to gush because I feel like this is, you are one of the people who has such an archive of facts about how this industry has grown, expanded, probably even dipped a little and then come back up again. Thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
All right, so I want to start with your broadcast background because as a broadcaster, I have to say there are a lot of you that paved the way for the likes of us. Talk to us about your broadcasting history.
My broadcasting history is my history.
Is your history?
That's my history. I started out with the Voice of Nigeria on the, I think I remember the exact date. It was the day after my 20th birthday, 24th of March, 1980. That's 45.
And as a 20-year-old, you went on air?
No, you first of all go to the training school.
Okay.
That was the FRCN training school for the basic announcers course.
Sure.
And after that, you double bank with, double bank means that you are like an intern and you're attached to a senior presenter, and both of you handle the, they used to call those shifts continuity.
Okay.
You're a continuity announcer.
Okay.
So you double bank with a more experienced person, and usually by your 4th month, you're put on air. You're put on air. You should be on your own and you should be running your solo shifts. So yes, and it was very exciting back then. Was that when you decided, you know what, this is what I wanted to do? I didn't have air? I've always, while I was at St. Finbarr's College, I was the chief speaker of the debating team for more than I ought to have been, in the sense that in those days, to be chief speaker, you have to be like in the last class. St. Finbarr's didn't have A-level, so we had Form 5 was there. But I became chief speaker from Form 4. Wow. And my supporting speaker was a Form 5 student. So in the whole of Form 4, I was chief speaker. Then when I was in Form 5, I was chief speaker. So I'm just saying. So I've always been a speaker. You've always wanted to speak? No, I didn't want to. That just happens to be what I can do. So so it was a natural flow for me to enter broadcasting. Exactly. And then after broadcasting, Nollywood came calling. Was it called Nollywood back then? Certainly not. No, it wasn't called Nollywood back then. But no, what really happened was that I was working at NTA as a continuity announcer and presenter. And back in those days, you have to get to the station early, at least an hour or 2 hours before your shift begins. And in those days, television used to start maybe about 5 p.m. So rather than me hanging around at home, by noon I'm already at the studio, at the station and hanging around. And the office I used to sit at, waiting for my shift to begin, happened to be the producer's room, the drama producer's room. And while they're there, a lot of rehearsals were taking place. The drama producers, and one of the drama producers was a cousin of mine. His name was Roland Henshaw. And a lot of the time I used to hang out with him, but sometimes he'll get busy and hand out scripts to actors and they'll be doing some readings and all of that. So on one occasion I said, let me just join, try my hand. And I said, okay, why not? So I started doing the play of the week. That's what they called it. Every now and again, I'd feature in one of the plays of the week. So that was where the drama came in. All right. But meanwhile, while you were still on NTA, you became the host of Friday Night Live. You need to talk to us about that. There are quite a lot of late night talk shows now that are making waves, but it feels like yours was one of the first. I created it because what happened was that before then, I used to do a show called a regular television show created by the station called Lagos Scoop.
Okay.
Then there was one other show created by Danladi Baku, and he was the host. And when he moved on to other things, I was recruited to
take over.
Sunset Lagos, it was called.
Interesting.
Sunset Lagos, it was called. So I took over as the host of Sunset Lagos. And after a while, I just said to myself, let me do my own thing. So I talked to the management of NTA and I said, hey, listen, I have this idea for a late night talk show. And I, to be honest, I stole the idea from a person called Arsenio Hall.
Oh,
back in the day, Arsenio Hall had a great late night talk show. It had comedy in it, it had live music in it, it had everything. And it was a really great show. So I stole the idea and I wanted to call it the Patrick Doyle Show. And they said, who are you to have a personalized show? And I said, but I've been at this business for 10 years. I started in 1980. This is 1990. If you want to be a senior advocate, the minimum requirement is 10 years call to bar. So I thought I had been 10 years call to the bar. So the big Oga at NTA, I said, no, you are too small to have a show named after yourself. Then I remember there was another show, a comedy show called Saturday Night Live, which runs to this day. Yes. So I said, okay.
Friday Night
Live with Patrick Doyle. so they grudgingly agreed that I could call it Friday Night Live with Patrick Doyle. So that was how it was born.
No, I have to say you've been one of those people that has been on screen and on air for so long that all these stories, I hope they're archived somewhere, by the way.
They're archived here.
Yeah, right up there.
Right here.
Okay, and then of course on screen with us now. But were there any significant things that happened during that Friday Night Live show that are having an impact till today?
I guess you have your Ali Baba. Ali Baba got his break doing stand-up comedy on Friday Night Live. That was the first. Wow. I was one who introduced him to the show, and I said, hey, listen, do a stand-up routine. I did it for like 5 years.
Wow.
And that was where stand-up comedy became a thing in Nigeria. Hence his appellation as King of Comedy. However, someone created the forum for the...
I've not heard that story before.
It's everybody. Don't worry. Maybe you've not been around long enough.
Okay, all right then. Well, there's quite a few. Know. So I know that there were quite a few programs that you ended up starring in the very beginning. Now, the era of soap operas and series, started around that time. Yes,
there was a very popular soap opera at the time that I was the lead character in, by Zebe Jiro.
Okay.
I forget its name right now.
Okay.
Good grief.
Okay.
It's sacrilege to forget. Oh. But right now it escapes me. But yes, it was. I hope it does. But my character, I remember the character's name, Melvin Dende Phillips.
Okay.
And it was all the rage at the time. It was.
So, right now you have the Netflixes of this world, you have all the other streaming platforms that are giving you series on demand. Back then we had to wait for a particular series to pop up every single day before we got to see sort of shows like this. But there have been so many other greats that have started from when you began. So what's your opinion about how they're running the industry right now?
I think the industry has gone through a lot of, for want of one, evolutions.
Okay.
It has gone through a lot of evolutions. I recall that, for instance, there was a time when the only soap operas you saw on Nigerian television were sponsored by big multinationals like PZ Industry, First Bank.
We're not mentioning any brands at this point.
Whatever, we were sponsored by multinationals. And these multinationals would put it on NTA network.
Sure.
Then the first person to independently produce a drama and syndicated it on television rather than put it on network, on the NTA network, was me. I produced a soap opera called Jaded Options, which opened the door for independent production of dramas on Nigerian television. It was soon after I started Jaded Options that Wale Adenuga got on the train. In fact, he called me at the time to ask how did I How did I navigate it? Then every other person got in on it. Tajuddin Adekpetu and a host of other people got in on it.
Amazing. Honestly, I wish I could continue on that career path journey, but I do want to touch on family life, you know, because it cannot be missed that you were married to Ireti Doyle for a long time. I would love to hear your thoughts on how she has been doing in the industry since that time, and whether...
I would like to disappoint you.
Okay.
If I do not have something nice to say about a human being, I'd rather not speak.
Interesting.
So my anointing does not allow me to speak ill of anybody living or dead.
Interesting. All right. But the Doyle name is sort of, is one of the names that you cannot miss whenever you hear of her or you hear of your own
I'm happy
career.
for her that the Doyle name has opened doors for her. And so far she has not disgraced the Doyle name. She's done pretty well. I'm proud of her achievements in the industry. You get what I mean? I would like for it to continue that way.
All right then. But you have since moved on. You have started a new family of your own?
By the grace of God.
All right then. So because of time, I'm going to touch on the fact that you are part of a new movie that is making the waves now called The Herd. And it's, when I say making waves, it's probably a little on the controversial side of things. Let's hear your thoughts on how it's doing.
I am so proud of that particular movie because it's just a function of providence that it is gaining momentum at this time when the activities of these herdsmen and bandits is becoming rather troubling. But it is, what's the word, serendipity.
Okay.
That it is that it's out now and it highlights the issues and it is very, very true to life. And the very fact that there is a section, some people are upset with it because they think that it was brought out to bring them out. Okay. But that's not. It's totally coincidental. Okay. This movie was shot sometime much earlier in the year. Much earlier, maybe even late last year. So it was. So it has nothing to do with what's going on now. But it's very, very. It's providential that it is out now, and it is a glaring mirror of what we're going through right now as a country. Can
you briefly touch on your role in this movie?
Okay, I played the part of the father of a young man who was cut down on his wedding day. He was cut down by bandits, by herdsmen who were very, very brutal in the way that was done. And my character represented the anguish that Nigerian families face against the onslaught of these very, very merciless marauders.
Sir, I really wish we had more time to continue with this conversation, but as is always the case, there's almost never enough. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please, will you join us in the kitchen? We have a bite for you. Our chef has been working really hard.
Someone told you something he shouldn't have told you, that I'm a foodie.
No, they didn't. But I made an assumption.
You assumed that I was a foodie?
Yes,
I look like I'm a foodie.
An educated guess.
It was a great guess.
All right.